daily life to combat this enemy that we are constantly fighting in this spiritual warfare. If you're here with us tonight and not a member of the body of Christ, you're truly and indeed our honored guest, and we're glad to have you, hoping and praying that you will render obedience to the gospel of Jesus Christ before this hour is over, because this is the time that God has given you to do just that. In John chapter 8, and beginning at verse number 1, we have a very familiar account here that we want to look at and to see what other lessons we can gather from this particular account. John chapter 8, beginning at verse number 1, Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? This, they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. And when Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Right. The title for tonight's consideration is simply, Only the Innocent Can Condemn. Right. I like that. Only the innocent can condemn. Right. One of the most heart-touching stories in the Gospel of John is, in fact, this account of this woman who was caught in the very act of adultery. It is here that we come face to face with the reality that everything is not as it always appears to be. The setting here is the temple where Jesus is teaching the people. And as he is teaching the people concerning the things of the kingdom, the scribes and Pharisees came in with a woman that had been taken in the very act of adultery. The humiliation and shame of this poor soul must have been greater than words could allow, because the Bible tells us that she didn't say anything as she stood there before this company of accusers. They came in this particular setting to find something wherewith they could accuse Jesus of. Verses 4 through 6 reveals unto us that their case is stated, but their case is not stated as a means of genuine concern for this woman's soul. They were trying to find something by which they could accuse Jesus. Therefore they said unto him, verse 4, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? The Pharisees and scribes figured that they had Jesus caught in what we would call a cat